and I'm not going to do any cardio because I'm afraid I'll lose muscle. Or the other extreme, I don't want to lift weights because I'm afraid if I get too bulky and I'm going to be muscle bound and slow. When you're looking at all the elements that come into health and longevity, yes, you want to have strength. Yes, you want to have good cardiovascular fitness. Yes, you want to have good stability and mobility. Yes, you want to focus on your nutrition. Like, you want to have all these pieces in place instead of having this singularity focus with your fitness. Like, hey, I just want to be a bodybuilder. I just want to be as big and strong and as jacked as possible. And I'm not going to do any cardio because I'm afraid I'll lose muscle. Or the other extreme, I'm just going to do cardio and I just want to be as small and as lean as possible. And I don't want to lift weights because I'm afraid if I lift weights, I'm going to get too bulky and I'm going to be muscle bound and slow. Like, you want to have that well-rounded approach, right? Especially for the average person. You want well-rounded fitness. Now, I can understand if you're an elite athlete and you're a professional bodybuilder, okay, obviously you're going to prioritize bodybuilding because that's your livelihood. Or if you're a professional endurance athlete, like right now, as I'm filming this podcast, we're right in the middle of the Tour de France, right? So if someone's a Tour de France cyclist and that is your ambition, obviously you don't want to have a massive muscular physique because that will literally slow you down, at that extreme level. But for the weekend warrior, i.e. people like us, you can have good muscle mass. You can have good cardiovascular system. I mean, granted, it's not going to be elite muscle mass or elite cardiovascular, but you can have well-rounded on all these areas. And from a health and longevity point of view, that's the best way to go about it. I mean, you'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll improve your overall health markers, and you'll avoid the pitfalls that come from singularity of focus. Because when let's say you singularity of focus with power and bodybuilding, like powerlifting and bodybuilding, those are kind of similar styles of training. If you just focus on that, you very often neglect the VO2 max, you very often neglect heart health, cardiovascular system. And how often have we seen bodybuilders having heart attacks and literally dying from heart issues at a very early age, like in their 40s? I mean, I'm not going to mention any, but if you've been following fitness influencers in the bodybuilding scene, you know of bodybuilders who've died in their 40s, in that age range, even younger in some cases, because of heart complications. Now, I know it's probably not all directly related to just the bodybuilding training. There's probably some pharmaceuticals that went into play there. That's another aspect of it for sure. But even just looking at the fitness side of things, if you're just focusing on strength and power and not prioritizing your cardiovascular health, that is the weak link in the chain. Now, going down the endurance side, if someone is just prioritizing endurance, like again, look at a Tour de France cyclist, they're very thin, they're very lean. They don't want to add any mass to their upper body because that's just extra weight that's going to bog them down. They just want to focus on, their legs, their core, their endurance, and they want to be as lean and as efficient as possible. Yes, they are lean, they're efficient, they have great cardiovascular health, but they don't have the bone density, they don't have the strength, the upper body strength especially. Like, it's amazing. I've seen pro cyclists who can't do push-ups and pull-ups and stuff that most gym bros can do without even thinking about it. They've kind of prioritized their training in such a narrow niche that, yeah, they can go and ride 100 miles a day for 3 weeks in a row at race pace and blow everybody away in terms of stamina and endurance and that area, but put them into a power strength situation and they're useless. So we don't want to be these one-dimensional sides unless, of course, you're at that elite level and this is your livelihood. You want to have well-rounded fitness.